Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. Congressional probes into the flood control scandal continue to heat up, with the controversy taking new turns. Aside from the DPWH officials, several lawmakers are also under fire for allegedly receiving kickbacks from anomalous projects. With some of their own members implicated, how is Congress ensuring fairness in its investigation? And could this issue deepen divisions among legislators? Let's get on point with Ako Bicol Party List Representative Alfredo Garbin. Congressman, good to see you again. Welcome to the show, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Pinky, and good evening.
Okay, let's first talk about your takeaway doon sa Infra Committee hearing kahapon.
Well, kahapon maganda yung takbo dahil maraming naisiwalat yung ating mga resource person at mga imbitado, yung mga contractor. And it leads to the involvement of some of the senators. And some are also of impression na maganda yung presentasyon dahil the testimony of the contractors were supported by object evidence, hindi lang yung mga sabi-sabi.
Tulad ng?
Tulad ng isang handwritten affidavit signed by Bryce. There was this object evidence like pictures of transfer of Payola money and some
screenshots po.
Screenshots and some conversations purportedly from a senator. Kakaiba ito doon sa Senado na kung saan ay solely based on a affidavit ni Diskaya.
There is a stark difference, sir, that I see from both investigations. Nung Monday po, balikan po natin, as I was telling the congressman a while ago, there's a lot that has happened in the past days. Nung Monday po, andun po yung Diskaya couple na pinangalanan po ang ilang mga legislators, congressmen and congresswomen, na supposed to be tumatanggap ng pera, including the Speaker and Ako Bicol Party List Congressman Zaltico. Pagdating naman po sa House of Representatives nung Martes, the next day, ito naman pong si Bryce Hernandez, sinabi naman po na 2 senador ang actually kumikita as kickbacks dito po sa flood control projects. And you started the questioning of Bryce Hernandez that actually led to that.
Well, tama po. My intention of my line of questioning is just to establish the relationship of Bryce sa tinatawag niyang boss kay D.E. Alcantara. And kung gaano sila mag-operate doon sa kanilang pinagsasakupan na District Engineering Office. And I was able to establish the same na napaka-close talaga sila at lahat ng pinapagawa sa kanya ay ginagawa niya. Kaya nga, in a very short period of time, na-promote siya at naging siyang district engineer doon sa kanyang sinasakupan na District Engineering Office. And patungo ako doon sa partihan ng, with the admission of Bryce na talagang nagre-receive siya ng limpang-limpak na pera. In fact, the admission was, it amounted to almost 1 billion pesos over the years. And sabi ko naman sa kanya, imposible naman na wala kang parte dyan at ikaw lang ang nagre-receive at inaabot mo lang sa inyong boss na si D.E. Alcantara. And ang gusto ko sanang malaman kung paano yung parte-parte at saan yun umaabot. And here comes the, surprise na he wants a protection, custody for the House of Representatives dahil lang sinasabi niya may involved na members of the Senate. And then,
so nagulat talaga kayo doon?
Nagulat ako.
In all honesty, sir, you didn't see that coming. No one knew among those legislators present that...
Walang may alam. So doon pala patungo yon at nagkaroon kami ng 1 minute or 2 minutes recess just to talk about the request of Bryce whether we can accommodate him in the House and inform the Senate whether we can take custody of Bryce there in the House of Representatives.
For context, because he was cited in contempt doon po sa Senado.
Yeah, he was cited in contempt. He was, under detention in the Senate. But apparently, the House and the Senate agreed that he be transferred to the Police Custodial Center para, kumbaga, maging neutral yung lugar.
Pero nilipat na rin po siya ngayon sa Pasay.
Upon the motion of, I think, Senator Jingo Estrada, or if I'm not mistaken, Marcoleta.
All right. So, what happened is that ito pong si Bryce, dahil po sa pagtatanong nyo, eventually, ay nagturo ng dalawang senador. Let's listen to what he said.
Sabi ni Senator Marcoleta kahapon, ligtas ka na. Hindi po ito totoo. Si Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada, Senator Joel Villanueva, Yusek Robert Bernardo, at D. Alcantara. Si Senator Jinggoy po ay nagbaba ng 355 million ngayong 2025. Noong 2023 naman, ay naglabas ng 600 million si Senator Joel Villanueva.
My question is, do you believe him?
You know what? That answer was pursued by a question that came from Zian Adjong, Congressman Adjong. Nag-interject. So, nung nasiwalat yung sa involvement ng mga senador, wala na ako. Hindi na ako nakapagtanong dahil naunahan na ni Zian Adjong. But as to the veracity of his testimony, I believe it has full weight of credibility dahil nga siya mismo ang kumbaga taga-resibe ng yung mga pera na yon at siguro naman alam niya kung saan yung papunta.
But to be clear about this, Congressman, you believe Bryce Hernandez's testimony that Senator Jinggoy Estrada and Senator Joel Villanueva are recipients of 30% of kickbacks in flood control projects.
It has to be proven yet.
But I ask you if you believe his testimony.
Sa tingin ko, yung kanyang testimonya ay hindi kumbaga clouded by any force or intimidation because he was, given a free, walang pananakot doon sa House of. In fact, when the committee on the TRICOM committee assured him that he will be given protection and custody, and that's the time he fully given his testimony over the involvement of them. But these are just remains to be allegations that has to be proven yet.
But do you believe it? Do you believe that Senator Joel Villanueva and Senator Jinggoy Estrada are recipients of that 30% kickback?
Hindi pa ako sold out ngayon because, alam mo, Pinky, it should be corroborated by another credible testimony.
Okay.
Ang nangyayari doon, nagpapasinungalingan silang dalawa ni D.E. Alcantara. Ikaw nagsasabi hindi totoo.
Which actually I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
Kasi si Bryce Hernandez po, yung assistant supposed to be ni D.E. Alcantara, ang nagsasabing ito yung mga ginawa niya. Ito ang mga pera para dito sa mga taong ito. Tapos si D.E. Alcantara sinasabi, walang katotohanan yung sinasabi ni Bryce Hernandez. So the question is, who among the two do you believe?
I want to get the full picture. Meaning, if you're saying something and there are two conflicting testimonies, I think the other testimony, one or the other, should be corroborated by another testimony on material points. Ang gusto kong sabihin, dapat may magpatotoo ulit.
Yung pagpapakita ho ba ng mga litrato, yung pagpapakita ho ba nung conversation sa text na supposed to be disappearing na nakunan po nung Mendoza, ng engineer Mendoza, yun ho ba ay sapat na ebidensya para sa inyo para paniwalaan yung testimony ni Bryce Hernandez?
Well, that's circumstantial. But as to whether ayun ay napunta sa politiko, senador man o congressman, that's another point that has to be proven. So those are, material point that has to be corroborated pa, Pinky, as of yet.
Let's listen to a statement also made by Senator Marcoleta regarding this. Meron ho kasi siyang sinabi na meron po siyang natanggap si Senator Marcoleta na text from an emissary naman of the Discayas to, I believe, implicate a senator. Pakinggan po natin ito.
Meron pong nag-text sa akin sa pamagitan ng emissary ng abogado ng Diskaya, Mr. President. Meron po palang isang congressman, kanina pong nag-hearing sila, nakausap yung abogado ng Diskaya. Kailangan, meron kayong matukoy na senador sapagkat makokontempt kayo. Nasa akin po yung text message, Mr. President. Sa makatwid, gusto lang nilang magpangalan. Hindi po mabuti yun. Kailangan po, sa tulong na rin po ni Senator Lacson, total naumpisan na yung mga contractors, naumpisan na itong mga kawani at opisyalis ng TPWH na talagang kandidato na po talaga sa impyerno. Matukoy po talaga kung sino-sino po yung palaging kausap ni Yusek Cabral na sila po yung sindikato dito. Para po yung walang kasalanan ay huwag pong madamay.
A quick reaction on this.
Sa nag-text sa kanya, then Senator Marcoleta can, send an invitation for him to be a witness or resource person who claims to be have a personal knowledge na pinapagsalita at pinapaturo yung mga senador.
So pero merong isang congressman na gustong mag-implicate ng senador doon sa hearing. Yun po ang pagkaintindi ko doon sa sinabi
Ang pinakamagandang forum nun ay doon din sa Senado.
Dapat tawagin.
At dapat tawagin at establish unang-una if he has that number that used to forward the text with that information. So
Alright.
yun ang pinakamaganda siguro.
Okay.
That's the best evidence. And of course, the testimony of the sender.
Congressman, the Diskaya testimony. So tapusin po natin muna yung kay Bryce Hernandez. Punta po tayo dun sa Diskaya couple. In the Senate, nagturo po sila ng mga congressman at congresswoman. Pagdating po sa House, they made it clear. There was this, they had to underscore the fact that wala silang direct transaction kay Speaker at kay Zaldi Co. Hindi ho ba? Unang-una, balikan po muna natin yung mga congressman at congresswoman. Kailangan ho ba nilang, how do they defend themselves? Should they defend themselves? And if so, how?
Alam mo, ang karamihan pwede maging biktima ng sabi-sabi. And when we scrutinize the affidavit of the spouses Diskaya, we found out na unahin natin yung kay Speaker at kay Congressman Saldico, talagang galing lang sa kwento. And based on his testimony, minsan daw pag nalalasing na, name drop na yung dalawa. So these are not admissible in evidence, just plain hearsay. And doon nga sa bungandag kanyang pananalita sa House, sa TRICOM, nilinaw niya talaga na wala kaming transaksyon kay Speaker at kay Congressman Saldico. But to the other members of the House who were alluded to, those who receive and those who whom they talk to in transactions sa proyekto, alam mo po, kaduda-duda rin kasi there are some congressmen there who were named na wala sa pwesto. And
Well, one is Congressman Marcy Teodoro. He
tama
was a
po.
mayor that time.
And tama rin yung observation ni Jinky Luistro na kung saan meron selective amnesia dahil ba't nakatutok lang sa 2020 to 2025? That if you look at the annual financial statement of the Diskaya, yung surge ng kanilang revenues on construction ay nag-umpisa 2017 hanggang 2023. So dapat doon
Bakit yun?
matukoy kasi doon yung pinakamalalaking kontrata na pinasukan na mga diskaya. And up to now naman, ay patuloy pa rin silang nangongontrata sa buong bansa. I think they are in 15 contractors named by the president. Sila yung widespread yung kanilang kontrata sa buong bansa.
Because they're supposed to own 9 of the construction companies.
Tama
So,
po.
Congressman, ano ho ba to? Do you see this na parang, to some people, kasi parang naglalaban yung House at Senado eh. Kasi sa Senado, tinuturo yung mga congressman. Doon naman sa Congress, tinuturo po yung mga senador.
Wala pong nagtuturoan sa membro ng Kongreso except that ang nagtuturo po ay yung mga testigo, yung mga resource person at mga witnesses po. So talagang widespread, malaki ang involvement. And that's why, Pinky, what we are really looking is, the constitution of an independent body that will investigate na walang, kumbaga, bahid ng impluensya ng kanino mang, kumbaga, kapulungan. Kasi dito ngayon, while the investigation is ongoing, you cannot erase the doubt na, sabi mo nga, nagtuturoan. Pag sa Senado, ang tinuturo ay membro ng House. Pag sa House naman, ang natuturo ay mga senador. So, ito yung, kumbaga, insinuation that cannot be avoided and would really, favor an independent body.
Congressman, kayo na po nagsabi ng dapat walang bahid ng impluensya. Marami po kasi nagtatanong, it's a TRICOM hearing. It talks about the budget. It talks about these construction companies. And one person that will always come to mind among the congressmen is yung kasama niyo po, ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico. Bakit ho hindi pa siya ipapatawag? May plano ba siyang ipatawag? We understand, of course, he's
Inimbita
abroad.
na po siya ng TRICOM committee and the invitation was received last week. If I'm not mistaken, Thursday of last week, yung imbitasyon na pinadala sa kanyang opisina. Opo. But as you know,
He's abroad.
he's still abroad and invitation will, ganon yung proseso. And, our parliamentary courtesy and has long been established a tradition in the House and in the Senate. Talagang di mo naman kumbaga, maobliga o mapuwersa ang isang existing member na maging resource person or testigo.
Pero pagka ganun ho kasi, hindi na ho dapat siguro pinag-uusapan yung mapilitan o puwersahin. Dahil kung siya po ang palaging na papangalanan, siya po ang palaging napatutunguhan, hindi ho ba dapat sa kanya na mismo manggaling yung kusa na magpakita? Dahil sir, kahit papano, yun nga po, nagmumukhang you're protecting your own, kumbaga.
Well, tama po. Pero ang kanyang pahayag na din ay wala naman siyang, as of now, wala naman siyang dapat ipahayag dahil ang inaakusa sa kanya ay yung budget insertion. But as to whether he was involved in this anomaly, like for example, the substandard or ghost projects, hindi pa naman siya napapangalanan doon o well,
In the case of Sunwest, sir.
yes.
That is the number 8 contractor.
Yeah. By inference, he was alluded to by the Diskaya. But kahapon nga pinabulaanan nito ng of course, the husband na wala talaga silang direct transaction kay Congressman Zaldico.
Congressman, we just need to take a very short break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Still with us, ako, Bicol Party List Representative Alfredo Garbin. Just a quick question, sir. I'll shoot very fast questions na po. Natanggap na po ni Congressman Zaldico yung invitation. When does he plan to appear?
Yan po, hindi ko alam. Yes, a different set of stuff. And I communicate para kumustahin lang siya. But as to whether kailan siya uuwi at kung siya ba...
Why not? Why don't you ask him that, sir?
Ang sabi niya ay nagpapagamot pa siya. In due time, he will go home as long as his doctor will permit na. Sabi niya, okay, pwede ka na. But ang sabi niya, he will face all investigation or allegations, he will confront the same. In fact, sa lahat ng mga paratang sa kanya, isinasagot niya na ngayon. Oo.
Yung sabi mo nga, nandun din po yung sinasabing insertions ni Huba. At sinasabi, siya ang proponent nito, siya ang naggawa nito, siya ang nagpasok ng insertions dahil siya yung chairman ng Committee on House Appropriations. Then, during the 2025 budget, is this something he's willing to reveal? Because kahit si Congressman Toby Tiangco po, ito po ang, kumbaga, parang battle cry.
You know, referring to the small committee of which Congressman Tiangco, accused of inserting those billions of infrastructure funds, nakausap ko kanina si Minority Leader Libanan. Bakit si Libanan? Dahil siya na lang yung natira ngayon na member ng small committee. And I asked him, sabi ko, Minority Leader, ikaw yung isa sa 4 na membro ng
Pangalanan
small.
po natin yung 4. Zaldico, Kimbo,
Yes,
Libanan,
Libanan, and
who's
then the
other one?
majority leader, Manix Delipe.
Yeah.
And sabi niya, walang nangyaring ganong insertion sa small committee dahil ang small committee only accommodates those individual amendments. But as to the insertion, most of the time it happens in the bicameral, in the BICAM.
To which he headed, Congressman Zaldico.
It's both houses.
Exactly, and Senator Grace po.
And Senator Grace. Po.
Siya po ang finance.
Yeah.
Hindi ho
And
ba?
some of the contingent of the House and in the Senate. But as to whether it is credible or the veracity of the lease of the 13 billion, alam mo, Pinky, pagdating sa General Appropriation Act, wala naman yung pangalan eh. Hindi ko nga malaman o paano intindihin kung bakit may mga pangalan doon na Saldico. Hindi ko alam kung saan yung kinuhang lista na yon. But the fact remains that these 13 billion are not yet released, not implemented. And the subject of the controversy right now, Pinky, are those projects na kung saan na-release yung pondo na implement na hindi tama, either substandard or ghost, at nakolekta ng buo ng mga kontraktor na ito at pinarti-partihan ng, ka-conspired nilang mga DPWH officials. So these are the subject of controversy. Yung 13 billion po, hindi po na-release. When you talk about undue injury to the government, wala pong undue injury. When you talk about giving undue advantage to the contractor, wala pa. Dahil di pa ako na bidding, hindi na-release ng DBM. So, but you talk about insertions that was released immediately and implemented, yun yung kay Toby Tiangco, 529 million. Insertion went to his district,
Sa Navotas po.
sa Navotas, and siguro 65 to 70% are flood control projects that is now being implemented by most of which are...
Which he's saying it's because Navotas is flood prone.
Tama po, pero ang sinasabi natin dyan, pinag-iimbistahan na ngayon yung Diskaya. Pinag-iimbestigahan na yung mga kontraktor na nag-implementa ng ghost projects.
And substandard,
And substandard. Bakit hindi mo imbestigahan yung iyong distrito na kung saan ang paboritong kontraktor ng kanyang distrito po ay yung St. Timothy na pagmamayari ng Diskaya. And to be followed by Alpha Omega na pagmamayari din ng Diskaya. And of course, top-notch belongs to those 15 contractors. And may nakita ako dito, very notable, yung Sims Construction Trading na involved sa ghost project. So, him being a self-appointed budget crusader, bakit hindi mo muna tingnan yung kayong distrito?
Didn't he check that? Because when he appeared in the Senate last Monday, hindi ho ba, binigyan siya ng pagkakataon ng mga senador na magsalita. At kanya pong sinasabi nga na, well, number one, ang hiningi niya atang pondo was about, basta what he got was about 600, tama ho ba? 600
Ang budget ceiling niya ho,
595.
sa aking research, ay 900 million sa kanyang distrito. But with the additional insertion of 529, naging almost 1.5 billion yung kanyang pondo.
Is it 1.5? Because I do recall what he said in the Senate, at least doon po sa aking naaalala, ang sinabi niya, ang hinihingi niya supposed to be na allocation was about 1
billion.
1 billion, pero ang lumabas nga sa kanya is about 595. And
Yun
then-
yung insertion po. Ganito po, paliwanag ko lang,
Go ahead, sir.
Pinky. Merong budget ceiling ang bawat distrito. Ang budget ceiling niya sa distrito niya ay umaabot lang sa 900 million. Base sa aking research,
Ibig sabihin dapat hanggang doon lang ang makukuha mo.
hindi naman hanggang doon dahil nga
Why is it a ceiling?
yun muna yung lalabas sa National Expenditure Program. Kumbaga, ito yung budget ceiling mo. Pag sumiti ng National Expenditure Program, ito yung lalabas sa distrito
NEP.
mo. But in the course of the budget hearing, including the BICAM, nandiyan na nga yung mga request sa insertion, kaya nadadagdagan.
Okay.
Tama naman yung sinabi niya na ang request niya for insertion on top of his budget
I
ceiling
see.
ay 1 billion. Kaya nga lumabas lang, ang sabi niya is 529 million.
So tama yon, that was accurate.
Tama
Okay.
yun, that was accurate. Pero ang aking kinakagulat lang ay bakit karamihan ng kanyang flood control ay ini-implement ngayon ng mga yung Diskaya,
Mm-mm.
yung Diskaya group. At Piki, pag tinotal mo to yung Diskaya group na nag-implement sa kanyang distrito, halos billion. And
You
considering,
mean 1 billion, almost 1 billion?
Yes po, pag pinag-combine mo.
For what year, sir?
Starting like 2021 to 2025 po.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Dambotas has an allocation for the past 5 years or 6 years, including 2025, 6.7 billion of flood control project. Until na baha pa rin.
Mm.
And nakakagulat.
Pero hindi ba nagpakita pa siya ng mga litrato si Congressman Toby na yung at least yung kanila mga dike kapag tinamaan man ng mga barko ay hindi daw nasisira?
Di po, yung floodgates niya tinamaan ng barko o barge. Pero nakakagulat dahil ang nakasira ay private entity, pero magpapaayos ay gobyerno.
Mm.
Ba't hindi na pinapanagot yung mga barges?
And who is that private entity?
Hindi ko, pero may nagsabi na kanya daw o sa kampanya niya. Hindi
Alright.
ako sigurado.
Sa kanya or sa kumpanya
parang,
niya?
Parang connected sa kanilang negosyo.
Alright.
Pero hindi po ako sigurado.
Okay.
Oo. So ang totoo doon ay nasira ng isang pribadong entity, pero ang nag-aayos ay ang pera ng gobyerno.
All right. Sir, sorry, ubos na po yung ating oras. So when is the next hearing sa House Infra Committee?
Tuesday ulit po siguro.
Okay, so this coming Tuesday, and then hindi pa rin po, sa palagay ninyo, hindi pa rin makakauwi si Zaldico by then?
Hindi ko po alam. Hindi ko masasagot yan dahil unang-una, I cannot ascertain his state of health, and at the same time, hindi ko kami constant nag-uusap.
Just a very quick follow-up, sir. Sabi po ni Mayor Benji Magalong, dapat ang unang-unang pinapatawag dyan ay si Zaldico. Huwag
Hindi
na
ko
daw
alam.
kayong magbingi-bingihan o magbulag-bulagan.
Hindi ko alam po kung saan siya nagagaling kasi baka yung pagkaintindi niya ng 13 billion, yun ay na-implement kaagad at na-release. For the information ng Mayor Magalong, hindi po na-implement yun at hindi na-release yung pondong yun. I'm not lawyering
13B.
for Congressman Zaldico, but I'm just stating a fact. But there are insertions that was immediately released and some of which were implemented by the Diskaya contractor. Siguro yun ang pagtuunan natin ng pansin. And just to add, Pinky, ito ay 2026. From 900 million budget ceiling, naging 5.3 billion ang budget ni Toby Chanco.
For 2026.
2026.
Ito na po yung upcoming.
Oo.
That
And-
is being questioned by a lot of congressmen.
And
actually.
4.2 billion all flood controls. And
Alright.
paulit-ulit, 100 million, 50 million. Tingnan mo, ito yung sinasabi ni Senator Ping Lacson. Na nakita niyo yung mga entry.
Yung parang coded, yung
Parang
ba yung
coded
sinasabi
yun,
nila?
Then I'll leave all
Yes,
the copies.
because for sure we'll have Congressman Toby Tiangco also respond to the statements you've made. Congressman Alfredo Garbin. Sir, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Salamat, Pinky.
Good to see you, sir, and thank you. That's On Point. Join us again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.